June 14th is Flag Day in the United States, so I couldn't think of a better time to talk a little bit about flag etiquette and go over a few important do's and don'ts. Recently, while I was out on a run, I noticed a tattered American flag flying halfway up its mast and partially caught in an adjacent tree. After passing it several times over the next few days, I decided to do something about it myself. It was obvious that the flag had been here for a long time, and a little Google Street View history seemed to confirm it. With nobody ever answering the door and phones disconnected, it seemed a pretty safe bet that the business was vacant. So finally, after a bit of reflection, I decided to just try and get the flag down myself for proper disposal, and that's one of the things I wanted to talk about today. The US Flag Code goes into much more detail than I'm planning to cover here, so I've put a few links down in the description to some other resources if you're interested. What I want to cover here today is more about how and when we display the flag, and how and when to dispose of one. First, as American citizens, displaying the flag is something we should do with both pride and respect. Pride in a country that stands out as a democratic world leader, and respect for the many freedoms and responsibilities afforded us under it. So what are the rules for displaying the flag? Well, let's start there. Whether flying or displaying the flag indoors or out, either horizontally or vertically, the Union, or stars, should always be on top and to the observer's left. Sometimes you will see the flag on flat surfaces with the Union on the right. However, this exception is made for uniforms, vehicles, and other articles and objects which tend to have a forward motion in a particular direction. You'll often see the flag mirrored on both sides of a police car, for example. Here, the Union faces the front of the car, the idea being that the stripes can fly freely in the wind when the vehicle is in motion. When flying state, city, military, and other flags along with the American flag, either separately or on the same mast, the American flag should always take a position of prominence where it's the highest of the displayed flags and generally to the observer's left or to the center. The flag should be displayed outdoors only during daylight hours unless it's also well lit at night, and it should never be flown during inclement weather. Equally important to how we display the flag is how we store and care for it. When not being flown or displayed, the flag should be folded into its distinctive triangle shape, not simply folded like a towel or sheet, and certainly not wadded up. The fold might look complicated, but it's actually fairly simple. With large flags, you'll often see 2 or more people performing the folding operation together, as it's easier to keep the flag from touching the ground this way, another sign of respect. With a smaller flag, though, there's no reason one person can't perform the fold, and it's a lot easier than you might think. With the flag flat on a table, and with the Union in the upper left, first fold the bottom of the flag up once to meet the top edge. Then repeat. Now, starting on the right, fold the end up once to form a triangle. From there, continue folding tightly, left, down, left, up, and so on, until you reach the end. Finish by tucking the remaining bit under the flap on the side. If done correctly, the entire triangle should be covered on all sides by the Union, with the stripes tucked away inside. The last thing I want to talk about, and really the genesis for this whole video, is what to do when an American flag is faded, torn, or otherwise no longer fit to serve as a symbol of American pride. The flag code tells us only that it should be retired in a dignified manner, but what does that even mean? Well, more often than not, it means burning, and this is where things can get a little bit controversial. Flag burning is a form of protest, while it's certainly something we have the freedom to do as Americans, is unquestionably disrespectful to the flag, and therein lies the problem. The reality is that intent is everything, and that respectfully incinerating flags in a dignified way as a manner of disposal is not prohibited or disrespectful. Far from it. Very often it's the best thing you can do. How respectful would it be to allow a flag to slowly rot in the ground at a landfill? Retiring a worn flag yourself is pretty easy to do. The next time you have an outdoor fire, simply lay the flag, folded as best as possible for its condition, into the flames. The fire should be large enough and hot enough to burn the flag completely and quickly. While having your own flag retirement ceremony like this, it's nice to follow up with a moment of quiet reflection, and to dispose of the ashes by burying versus simply throwing them in the trash if possible. If you're the sentimental type, you can even save the metal grommets and thread them onto a keyring, adding a tag to record the life of the flag. You can even make a flag retirement ceremony part of your next cookout or barbecue, and invite guests to bring worn-out flags if they have them. It's a nice opportunity to go from guest to guest, saying a little something about what the flag or what being American means to them. Similar to sharing what you're thankful for around the table at Thanksgiving. Realizing flag disposal is something many people are confused about or would like help with, there are a number of different organizations like scouting groups, VFW posts, and more who accept worn flags to be retired, often using drop-off boxes to collect them. With any luck, a quick online search will turn up a location near you where a flag can be dropped off if you're not comfortable retiring it yourself. I hope you learned a little something in this video or found it useful. So if you did, give it a thumbs up below and tell me what you think down in the comments. Please consider subscribing to my channel if you haven't already for all kinds of new videos all the time. And don't forget to turn on notifications so you don't miss one. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time.